selling can't be number one in your language all the time. Everybody's just going to push past it and be like, all you're trying to do is sell me, versus, hey, you're trying to make my life better. And if we can approach it from that perspective, people are more inclined to talk about you, and they're more inclined to push that purchase button.
Welcome to the Love Your Brand podcast. If you're looking for real conversations with real people, you're the right place. Let's go!
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Jason's got to get amped up.
Gotta get amped up. What's up, fam? What's up, fam? Me and my partner here, Mr. Bobblehead, is on this episode.
Where'd you get that?
The crew of misfits got it for me.
Christmas present?
Little Christmas.
Very nice. Very nice.
Christmas present. So what episode are we on? We're on episode 18 or 19, I believe, maybe.
Ever since the holidays.
I
have no idea where we are. But Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
2024 is here. Y'all, we just got finished with Mr. Ryan Alford from the #1 business and marketing podcast on Apple. Dude, that was a lot of fun. We spent about an hour with him.
Yeah. So if you get a chance, you've definitely got to take a listen. We've got to have him back on. It's
probably going to be posted pretty soon too, right? Not going to have like a 6-week lag anymore. I think we're kind of grooving now.
Yeah. I think we're almost to where we can actually say a date in our podcast.
I think this week. All right, so we're going to hold ourselves accountable right now. This was filmed on January 8th. We're going to get this out this week.
Not this one that we're recording now.
Ryan's. Whatever was before this.
I don't know when this is going to come out.
No, this might not even make it. Maybe this is a blooper reel. Because y'all know us. You know how we do things. You know how we do things. We mentioned it to Ryan, as he was building his podcast. So like I said, he's #1 business and marketing podcast. And he's built such a community. And we talked a little bit about getting haters. And Jason and I mean, early on, we didn't even have a following. We started to get some haters on here. One person, I think my favorite comment, Jason, was the one that said, in quotes, "Hey bro, let's go start a podcast. It'll be fire." Then proceeds to have the most bland conversation ever. Hey, we're not for everybody.
Nah,
we're not for everybody. We have a studio in the side yard of a house in South Carolina that tells you everything you need to know. But maybe a year from now, you're going to look back and see our humble beginnings and say, hey, I gave them crap early on, but they're doing things. So anyway, I just say that as a humorous joke. Haters going to hate, trolls going to troll. We're still going to be here.
Yeah, fortunate. I don't read the comments, so we're in. I just let Jonathan tell me about the comments.
I don't take offense to them. A lot of times my wife comments, so that's kind of nice. She gives us some good comments.
That's awesome.
You got to get love somewhere. Yeah. But yeah, I look at them, they just kind of make me laugh. There was also one, he said, oh man, what was his handle? It was something like Fart Alabama. And he said my doppelganger. So either me or you look like Fart Alabama. And I gotta go find it. It's amazing. I clicked on his profile and yeah.
I don't know. My southern accent's a little stronger. I'm worried he was talking about me.
Fart Alabama. You could be Fart South Carolina. Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Talk about the new year, 2024. Marketing.
You excited about this new year?
I am. I'm very optimistic. Very optimistic. I'm excited. Because just like the podcast we just had, the stuff that even Ryan was seeing for this year is pretty optimistic. You've got a lot of noise going on with hard marketing in your face, a lot of noisy marketing, trigger marketing, along with all this automation and AI. It's causing a lot of confusion, so I think it's going to open up the door for more creativity, more human touch.
Oh yeah.
Which that's what we're all about is getting creative and coming up with cool new ideas and ways to engage with your brand holistically. So I'm pretty excited about this year.
One thing I like Ryan did So Ryan has a podcast, the Radcast with Ryan Alford. And before he went into 2024, he didn't say marketing trends, because he was like, a lot of times trends come and go. And he was how to set up your business for success in 2024. And he highlighted 3 points. So go back and check out that episode. But it's true, because so often there are trends that come and go. And I think in business, we look at these trends and we feel like we have to do this. We have to do that. We have to be on this social platform. We have to hit them here. And maybe that's true, maybe that's not true, but we get burnt out. I think so many businesses, they get burnt out, they get frustrated, they work with an agency, they spend a lot of money, they feel like they wasted a lot of money instead of really creating that strategy and figure out what their goals are. And so it's not about chasing trends. It's about positioning and setting yourself up for success and how to do that.
And it's really, we've implemented the strategy phase. I think it's helping weed out a lot of, companies or brands that are looking for instant gratification, or may not appreciate, what all that goes into brand strategy and marketing, right? We're not the company. Who we're not is if you come to us, for third quarter and say we've got to increase our sales for third quarter, right? So you've waited way too long.
Let's meet our annual revenue goals in Q4, and we'll start a week before Q4 starts.
All right, it's first quarter now, guys. So
already behind the 8 ball.
Come knocking and saying, "Hey, we need to hit this first quarter. You're behind the 8 ball. We should have been talking last quarter."
Dude, that's such a good point, because you said something recently that was fire. We were meeting up at a coffee shop a couple weeks back, with a potential partner, and we were talking about their online visibility and SEO. And you looked at her and you said, SEO is like a light bill. I'd never heard it said that way, because a light bill, electric bill, that's a requirement every month. We're planning for it. If you don't pay that bill, the lights are going to go off. And the context you were speaking to her was that you can't be reactive to where, hey, things are great. We're cruising as we come into 2024. In 2023, we're skyrocketing. And all of a sudden things tank for whatever reason. And then people say, hey, I need to get back on track. By then it's a little bit too late. And so I don't know if you want to comment or expound on that, because SEO specifically for your online visibility, that is, you need to consider that a monthly payment to keep your lights on. Yes. And even brand strategy as a whole, you need to keep it at top of mind. If you're a business and you're 10X and you're 20X and whatever, you're doubling, tripling, whenever you have good business, you're doing good business, good trends financially, business-wise, you tend to lay back and get comfortable. When in reality, that's when you should do your biggest investment. That's when you should keep honing in on your brand strategy, on your brand messaging, pushing out brand content, focusing on a lot of creative marketing outlets and things that you normally, if you were in a bind or if you were reactive, say you're losing money third quarter and you're trying to get back in the groove, it's better to be proactive when you're in a better position and you have the finances to back it up to where you can spend money on your brand longevity instead of just that hardcore marketing where you got to have that instant return, right? And, I'm huge, definitely about hitting numbers and conversions and marketing, and that's still a big deal. We track it all, but you've got to take into consideration your longevity of your brand strategy and what you're going to input for the future, for your return. And that ROI is a little tricky to measure, right? So yes, if you're a company, it's like your light bill. It's, your online digital presence is just as important as your brick and mortar, if you have one. Nowadays, it's a little less, a little less. You don't have as many brick and mortars, but that's why I reference it as a light bill. It's a bill that you need to pay constantly every month. It's never ending. The lights don't go away. Electricity don't go away. SEO changes. Algorithms changes.
this year you're going to have a lot of privacy and cookies that are bye-bye. So it's going to be even more important for you to rank, for you to be able to be found for relevant information, to create that engagement. So
how do you sell that to somebody? Because so often, these business owners, they're great at what they do, but they don't understand the marketing aspect of it. They don't understand the terminology and the language around it. And so they trust a company to come in and partner with them and show them the way. They say, this is my vision, this is where I want to go. And they trust somebody, you're going to help me get there. I'm going to pay you to help me get there. I notice so often when we talk to people, we use, I call them big words like SEO or SEM or PPC, and you get that eyes glazed over like you've lost me because I don't understand that. So how do you dumb that down to somebody and speak in layman's terms of you need to invest in SEO type activities to increase your brand's online visibility?
Yeah, I mean, really, I try to use basic terminology. Being found on Google, being found on search engines.
Yeah.
When people are looking for your service, look at it as your light bill. Because if they're like, wow, every month I pay my light bill, my water bill, my, whatever bill, they need to look at it as a relevant expense to their business.
I think with this case, sorry to interrupt, this case specifically that I referenced, you were going to visit this location. Somebody had recommended them. You get on Google Maps, you type in their business name, and it takes you somewhere about a quarter mile down the street.
Sure. And it's something that basic.
It's something easy to show this is a problem. If people are trying to find you and they physically can't.
And usually if it's a problem like that, then there's a lot of underlying issues that you got to address as well. So that was just something that just came about, right? There's a lot of other needs. And then you've also got to take into consideration that you're not the only one in that space. If it's a geographic issue, like you're like, well, man, I'm the only one in town. Well, I don't care. They've got no other option. Well, it wouldn't take much for somebody to come in that did care.
That's true.
Start taking your market share.
Eat your lunch.
And also always, I don't care how good you're doing, your business or brand is doing, there's always room for improvement.
Yeah.
Whether it's, creating more engagement on your social outlets, increasing any kind of e-com that you have, if you're, doing any kind of swag, some giveaways, you're building out community events. There's all these ways that you can increase engagement, not only externally, internally within the organization. Because everybody knows right now it's quality people. Finding those people that are quality and keeping those people, especially if they're coming to the office every day, right? You've got to battle the new normal, which is a hybrid situation. Which, right. Hey, the genie's out; it's never going back. So you've got a lot of competition, both internally within your organization and the culture, and then externally with your branding and marketing and staying engaged. He said something else about audience, and community being a big driver in 2024. That's something that really doesn't come to mind when we talk with brands and they're like, we need to run this campaign for this, we need to do this, we need to do that. The one message that never really comes up is we need to build a community. We need to build an audience. I think that gets thrown on the back burner, right? There.
I think community is so closely correlated to culture, company culture. And so it all starts within the company, and to where if we put the focus on our employees and our team and we create an internal community that is thriving, that is teamwork focused and selfless in thought and actions, then when they go out and interact with other prospects and clients and customers and partners, that is going to organically spread to them because it's the culture that's been created from within. And so I think community is both internal and external for our brands and within our companies. But like Ryan said, 2024 is going to be such a big year of creating that community aspect of it, because we're getting so leery of all brands that are out there. We all get marketed to all day long on social media every time we're there. So we know that we're constantly trying to be sold. And so there's this distrust that comes in to where I don't trust a brand because I think all they care about is selling me. They don't truly care about me as a person. And so if we create that community and we create, like influencers that not just to sell, but actually their lives have been changed by the product. Their lives have been changed by the service. They're going to be brand ambassadors that are going out and promoting these products.
Mm-hmm.
I can list off a handful of companies that I just could rave on and on and on about because how good their product is, how good their customer service is, the community that has created friendships within the organization. And that's what we have to aspire to get to, because then the brand will sell itself without us having to actively sell it.
You build that brand, you become less of a commodity in your industry. The last thing you want to be seen as a commodity.
Yeah.
So that's your ROI, right? ROI. Always be high. No, I mean, not be high, but
we're going to put a pause. Welcome our sponsor, CBD. Always be high.
Always be high on your price points.
Pauses, you want to be very careful when you choose to pause. Always be high on your price points.
Yes, on your price points. Never start low, right? You can always offer
true.
Sales and discounts. We were talking with another partner, and we were talking about price points, and it's good to know all your ins and outs because you need to be profitable. But you need to raise the bar when you're marketing. Because if you try to come in too competitive, then you fall in that automatic commodity bucket.
And then you're going to be stuck down there also, because it's a lot easier to drop your price and offer a sale or a promotion than it is to start upping your price.
Absolutely,
because
right.
Up your price, you can do it, but you have to continue to add value to where somebody's going to want to move forward with you, because you're not product or price focused as a commodity. It's all about value. When we were talking to that prospect a little bit ago, it was really about taking the proactive versus reactive approach. And when things are going well, continue to invest, continue to do more. And it reminded me, last year I get married, and my wife and I, through premarital, we started a marriage course, and that has taken into our marriage. Because a problem existed? No, not at all. Because we were being proactive. We want to have the best marriage possible. We don't want to wait till things could potentially get crappy. We have a fight, we have a disagreement, we're struggling in tension, to where then say, all right, we need a marriage resource like a course or an event or a book. We're choosing to invest in our marriage, invest in the things that are important to us so that we can stay ahead of it. And it's the same in business. Invest in those things that are important. Your business growth is important. Increasing that company culture is important. Creating that community for our prospects is important. So you got to invest and be proactive instead of waiting to respond.
And I think it's a little more authentic. If you're a company and you're continuing to invest in market, rather than, hey, we got a good quarter, let's really let's blow it out and then let's lean back the next quarter. I like to call them the in and outs, because what position they're in. They're trying to sell hard. You can tell by their marketing language, by the ads. They're really trying to convert strongly. And like you said, everybody is getting very aware of how these companies are marketing to them. So, and they're showing up. They're showing up if you're on a Facebook or Instagram or whatever, LinkedIn. Then it's a secondary search. So they're there to kill time, to do research, to find valuable information, and you pop into the picture. So you got to have, in some of these cases, soft language, soft marketing,
community
building, instead of hard, hey,
hard selling.
50% off now, buy it now, join this group,
And we also have expectations, with, think about Black Friday as an example. There's going to be sales. You're going to shop. You're 11 months ahead of time. You're already thinking when you're going to shop. And so in those 11 months, you don't always have to do that hard sell. That 11 months up to Black Friday is creating the brand, creating the community, getting the buzz going to where people are all about your brand. They're all about your messaging, everything that you're pushing out there. And then they're holding off. And, there's such a delicate balance because you can still make sales through the year. You have to. Your business is not going to succeed if you don't. But it's that balance of when to do soft, passive kind of communication versus active selling. I think so much e-commerce, it's all about the holidays, July 4th sale, Memorial Day sale, Mother's Day sale, Father's Day sale, Valentine's Day sale. You can piggyback off all those things, but selling can't be number one in your language all the time. Everybody's just going to push past it and be like, all you're trying to do is sell me versus, hey, you're trying to make my life better. And if we can approach it from that perspective of your product can help my life be better, people are more inclined to talk about you and they're more inclined to push that purchase button.
Absolutely.
What are some of the brands that when you get stopped, when you're on social media, that make you want to buy when you are not in the mood to buy? Seriously. Fresh, clean tees?
Yeah, me personally, it's always some kind of active wear because let's face it, that's an easy sell. But that's one that's in a social mindset. Like, I'm scrolling through top 10 Forbes 2024 marketing lists. One of them is social commerce. It's they're becoming their own little ecosystems. They already have, to where you can reduce the friction and create your sales right there in the shopping cart. Heck, fresh, clean threads. It's Threads now, right?
Well, I think they have both. I think it's the same company.
So, heck, I think I bought a little Henley on Instagram. Didn't even leave the platform.
Right.
It was right there,
Well, and that's the goal of these platforms. They want to keep you in there.
Absolutely.
You don't want to go out. But that's also the danger as a business, to where you want to go outside the platform. And so create a community in the platform. Instagram's a great place to build a community and to leverage those influencers in there. But you got to get them out of the platform, because what happens if these platforms change the algorithm one day? What if they decide to be paid? What if they kick you out because they don't like the words you're saying? If you have your community in that platform, you just lost everybody you have. You can't sell. So you got to get them out of the platform.
You got to have a nurture campaign, whether you're selling through Amazon or these social outlets. You've got to eventually get them on the list and get them converted over to your site using some kind of enticement or just valuable information or any kind of downloads or any kind of community-based content. I'm not saying stop doing that. They're there. It worked on me. Instant gratification. There are buyers that will serve, right? But there are also buyers that will want to go learn more. Go to the website, look at the fits, look at how they.
That's me. I'm that buyer.
What they're made out of.
But see, I'm also a physical shopper.
Yeah.
I can get like some style. If we talk about fashion, I can get some style online. Then I like to go in the store and touch it.
There you go.
My wife even laughs at me because I like to touch my groceries. She's like, no, they're going to deliver to my doorstep. And I'm like, but I get to go in. You can tell me about an avocado, right? It's going to look good online, but it's going to show up. I'm ready to eat it tonight. There's some things you have to be able to see in person.
Yeah. But think about that. Think about how many people actually go into the grocery store now and shop. I don't think my wife doesn't. I'm the only one. I'll do it occasionally.
I went to Trader Joe's the other day, man. You would think, oh my gosh, school's out for the summer. That place was packed.
But they've made it so convenient. It's changed. It's came in and it with the advancement of DoorDash, it morphed into, hey, we can deliver you food. Why not deliver you groceries? Why not deliver you this? Why not deliver you that? And then everything closed down for a period, and then
Yeah.
it just intensified that market.
It's true.
So now, really, you don't have to go anywhere,
You don't have to.
but you pay a premium.
But also, I think, as we're talking about like trends this year, the human element is missing in so many aspects. I think there's a lot of loneliness out there because people are cooped up inside. And you can look at all the conveniences and say, I want all my food delivered. I want my, movies through whatever I'm streaming. You don't have to go out to a movie theater anymore. And it's isolating people when people are thriving on human interaction. And I think, as I brought up Trader Joe's as an example, I've also gone to Aldi. If anybody knows the Aldi store, Aldi is almost completely, they have no employees working the checkout line.
Got like one.
They have one in case you have some kind of problem. Some people are like, this is fantastic, but Trader Joe's, their model is a little different. That you go in and there's two people at each station. There's the person that checks you out and the person that bags it. And they're always so cordial. Like, customer service is number one to them. How's your day? What's going on? They talk to you. You go through the store and there's somebody stocking something everywhere. You go up to them, hey, where are your almonds at? They're not going to point 2 rows over right there. They put it down what they're doing. They walk you over there and they hand deliver and they say, is this what you're looking for? And I think that is why they do so well, because they put such a focus on customer service. That human interaction is there versus the sterility. Is that a word? Sterility, being sterile, so. Like an Aldi, so, yeah. To where it's just there's a machine up there that's going to check you out and you don't have to have any kind of interaction. Some people like that. Like, I don't want to talk to anybody. But when I go in Trader Joe's, you walk out just kind of smiling like, that was a good experience. And I think that's what successful brands do, to where when you finish the interaction with them, you think that was a pleasant experience. I think that's what we should aspire to do. So if that's where we want to get to, how do we do it? And I think human interaction is number one.
No, I get it. And I think people in general, they make excuses. Well, I make excuses. That is, they treat it as, how valuable my time is. Why should I go to the grocery store, pick out all this food when I can just scroll and get it on my phone?
True.
And, save me an hour and a half, go in with, a kid or kids. And
totally.
And that's not only that, just food in general, like DoorDashing and whatever, Uber Eats.
Which I've never done either one of those in my life.
I think sometimes we use it as an excuse because time has become so valuable and so fast, and everything is just in a hurry, right? Everything has to be now. If you go online, you want to answer now. If you have an issue, you need to know now. There's been a change.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people would be more inclined to spend additional money for that, like time savings. So often people they say time is money. I disagree with that statement. I think time is far more valuable than money. And I heard an example one time. They said, hey, Jason, if I offered you $1 million right now, would you take it? Yeah, of course. All right, Jason, I have a caveat. If I offered you $1 million today, but you would die tomorrow, would you take it? And I'd say 9 out of 10 people would say, not at all. I don't want to die tomorrow.
9 out of 10.
I don't know. Some people were like, man, I'm going to have a party day today. We're going to go to Vegas.
Oh, wow.
But, time is far more valuable than money. And so it matters to people. People are willing to spend a little bit more. And, if it frees up their time. I mean, hey, my wife, when she's got 4 kids on her, you think she's going to choose going in the store, packing the kids up to go in there to do the shopping with them versus somebody delivering it to her doorstep? Absolutely not. She's going to choose delivery every single time. So I think every case is different.
And let's take that further into the business realm. Let's face it. You've got video meetings now, right? They've blown up, Now it's like sometimes a physical meeting, some people still appreciate it, but some people are just like, well, that's going to take 2 hours out of my day or this and that. And it's becoming less custom. to have that human interaction. So that's why I think in 2024, this year, which we're in now, you're going to see a tremendous kickback to where there's going to be more human interaction. People are going to start to crave it because it's been so long now to where we've been kind of disconnected.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm very optimistic at where, businesses can go this year, bringing those human touch points to the equation.
100%. I think, think about kids, man. They're addicted. Adults, we're all addicted to technology, right? It's an easy way to pacify a kid, a crying baby. Just give them a device. Put them on it. Their crying stops. They're entertained. You can go do whatever you want. You can veg out. You can work. You can take a bath. You can do whatever you want because your kid's entertained. But that's setting us up. There's so many scientific studies of addictive behaviors and what causes it and how dangerous it is to where, we're on these things to where now we're not going to crave human interaction if we continue to be stuck on these things. And we're in a digital world. The work that we do, we have to be on our computers and our phones and graphic design and leveraging AI, and we're filming a podcast, audio and video files, all this stuff. It requires technology, but there's a rise of these robots over here, AI coming up, and which is going to take human interaction away if we go to it. And so, totally. I don't know how to land this plane. It happens every now and then. I knew where I was going, man. It's over there.
Those robots.
But
with those robots.
No telling. Sorry, guys. This is what happens sometimes. Lose my train of thought.
Well, the rise of AI, it is. But it can't take over the creativity that
right.
we'll need to bring to the table to market brands and brand strategy.
Well, it's a tool to help us, not to replace us.
Yes.
You got to have that approach.
It can definitely help. And as long as you keep it in that bucket, then you're good. What you're going to see also, though, is a big uptick in automation, AI automation. You'll get flurried with, hey, have an AI e-commerce site and in 10 minutes and blah, 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 and all this. You're going to get hit from left and right with a lot of AI automation. Some of it, is going to be, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. You're going to have to really think about it and actually look at what's being implemented, because when a lot of these come out, then algorithms and search platforms like Google and Firefox and whatnot and Bing, they'll have to adjust for this mass explosion of all this artificial, dumbness that's being put out into the space. Dumbness. It's like, think about it, with a flip of a finger, then you can have, a dozen e-commerce stores running automatically, all pulling from the same information and drop shipping from the same company. You're going to have delayed shipping, misinformation in between them. There's going to be a whole lot of issues that will arise. So if it looks too good to be true, then it usually is.
That's what my dad always said.
You know what I mean? So just be careful, because that I see you're going to be a lot of information and hit from every angle with AI and all these different functionalities. Some of it good, some of it not so great. So I don't know where we're going to land that one either. But it's been a long day, bro.
Man, we're tired today.
I know.
Maybe that's our cue to go ahead and put a pin in this.
Yeah, we'll put a little pin and pop this for later. And we'll see y'all on the next episode.
Let's say this. We'll speak to the camera. Everybody's got a story to tell, and we want to hear yours. And so as we've brought more and more guests on, lately, hit us up, send us a DM, reply to our team, and let us know what topics you have to cover on the podcast. Jason and I, we sometimes do filler episodes like this, just some relevant marketing type stuff, but the goal is to bring, or irrelevant. Touche. That's a good point. But the goal is to share the stories of guests.
That is absolutely. Absolutely.
So we need you guys.
You've got a story to tell.
Bingo.
We want to help you tell it.
Whether it's you, a friend, a family member, or what, or a group, let's go. Reach out to us.
Let's go.
Join us on the podcast.
Love your brand.
So until next time, peace.
Thanks for listening and joining us on the Love Your Brand podcast. Stay tuned for the next episode, and remember, share the love.